Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Heather Hodges. I'm the President and Ambassador in Residence of the Cleveland Council on World Affairs. On behalf of the team at CCWA, welcome to our first virtual annual meeting, and hopefully the last one in this format. I hope that while you waited, you enjoyed seeing photos from our activities in the last year. Today's meeting is webinar style, meaning only our speakers and presentations will be visible on the screen. This is because of the large number of registrants for our meeting and so that we can ensure a quality experience. If you have any comments or questions during the presentations, you can share them in the chat box or the Q&A box accordingly. Just to give you a brief outline of what we will be doing today. In a moment, we will start with the video that was put together by our team on the accomplishments of this past year. It is 18 minutes long. After the video, we will shift back to live format, and I will announce the new board leadership transition and say a few words to thank outgoing chairman of the board, Dr. Wael Khoury, for his service. Then we will hear from Wael Khoury, followed by a few words from our incoming board chairman. Finally, our CEO, Karina Van Vliet, will give closing remarks and share any comments or questions. Thank you.
The entire team at the Cleveland Council on World Affairs is pleased to share with you highlights from our 2019-2020 annual report. Our fiscal 2020 was an extraordinary year. It was remarkable for the quality of programming through March. And then, like everyone else, we faced out of the ordinary circumstances when the COVID-19 pandemic reached the United States. Here in this report, my colleagues will focus on the programs that we carried out and on the impact that these programs have had on the audiences, the guests, the students, and the international visitors that we have the pleasure of serving. I hope you enjoy.
Our speaker programming includes 2 different tracks, including the Foreign Policy Forums and the Cleveland Committee on Foreign Relations. Our Foreign Policy Forums are open to the public speaker programs that allow anyone from Northeast Ohio to come in and listen to subject matter experts on really great international topics that we set over the course of the year. This year we had 637 attendees, and 157 of those attendees were students from local schools. And actually 132 of those attendees joined us virtually as we finished our programming this year with 2 virtual forums. Some of our topics from the course of the year included why Africa matters to the United States, the shifting dynamics in the US-South Korea relationship, and we ended the season with a discussion about the US-Europe alliance in light of COVID-19. Some very memorable speakers this season, one of them including Ambassador Bill Burns, who we were thrilled to have with us in March. We also hosted Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield, who shared incredible expertise about Africa and her experience with the Foreign Service. This year, we also had a first-time ever season sponsor. Our sponsor was Hitachi Healthcare America, and the partnership that we had with them over the course of the season and their generous support made it very possible to make great programming available to Northeast Ohioans, and it really supported what we do in our speaker programs. And then the Cleveland Committee on Foreign Relations is a members-only based forum, and the members come. We have 8 different meetings over the course of the year, and 2 of our programs in this series were also held virtually to close out our season. We had 461 attendees over the course of the season, and 26 of them in person were students. The topics on this included things like the United States and Turkey relationship, defeating extremism and new things that we can bring to that fight, and even an overview of the crisis in Venezuela, which happened in the fall and was incredibly timely. And then our last speaker program, we are a partner in the Happy Dog Takes on the World program that always occurs at the Happy Dog Tavern. And that's a partnership with a number of different organizations across Cleveland, including the City Club and Global Cleveland, and we're really thrilled to be a part of that and to be able to bring that completely free program to Cleveland citizens who can come and listen in at Happy Dog.
The Global Impact Award event is CCWA's signature event, which honors and recognizes distinguished individuals whose leadership has led to a greater cooperation and understanding among communities and nations around the world. Our 2019 event honored Dr. Richard Haas, President of the Council on Foreign Relations, for his distinguished career as one of the most knowledgeable observers of foreign relations in America, and for his work at the Council on Foreign Relations for helping Americans better understand the world around us. Our 2019 event also recognized our very own Richard Pogue for his 60 years of membership in the Cleveland Council on World Affairs. We had about 260 people support us by attending the event, and we raised over $140,000 through sponsorship support. We are extremely grateful for our presenting sponsor, the Cleveland Foundation, and to all of the other sponsors who helped support CCWA's mission and programs at this event.
The International Exchanges Program at CCWA promotes engaging exchange between local Clevelanders and emerging leaders from other countries through person-to-person diplomacy or citizen diplomacy. The program includes 2 full-time staff, myself, Katie Furman as Senior Program Officer, and Andrew Kovach as Program Officer, and generates 3/4 of CCWA's total programmatic revenue. Our International Exchanges Program has been nationally recognized for excellence in programmatic leadership numerous times in recent years among nearly 100 similar organizations throughout the United States that also support U.S. Department of State-sponsored international exchange programs. As Senior Program Officer, I manage the Fee-for-Services Program Division, or our customized exchange programs. These programs are longer term and include youth programs, fellowship-based programs, where we embed international visitors in local Cleveland offices, and opportunities for outbound exchange, whereby we nominate Clevelanders to travel abroad to share their skills, ideas, and talents. In the past fiscal year, CCWA welcomed 92 international visitors participating in 6 different fee-for-service projects and helped send 5 Clevelanders abroad. Cleveland is particularly proud of how fee-for-service exchange programs help to foster outbound exchange opportunities. Outbound exchanges have allowed us to increase the local impact of our programs and further bridge the gap between Cleveland and communities abroad. In May of 2019, CCWA welcomed a group of high school music students from Taiwan for 3 weeks. 3 U.S. students then traveled to Taiwan on a reciprocal exchange in October. CCWA was also proud to nominate 2 reciprocal exchange participants through the Professional Fellows Program who traveled to India and Nepal. Cleveland also made a name for itself in exchange program accessibility. We hosted a group of disability advocates from Belarus in July through the United States Agency for International Development, or USAID, program Community Connections. 3 of the participants came with disabilities that impacted their mobility, including one in a wheelchair. We were able to provide accessible home hosting accommodations and transportation for all participants, and our program ultimately helped rewrite the USAID policy on international exchange programming for people with disabilities. This upcoming year, CCWA looks forward to continue finding opportunities for more accessible programming and for outbound exchanges. I will now turn it over to Andrew, who will talk about the other division of CCWA's international exchange programs called the International Visitor Leadership Program, which is different from our fee-for-service program initiatives.
Hi, my name is Andrew Kovach, Program Officer with the Cleveland Council on World Affairs. I'm going to talk a little bit about the International Visitor Leadership Program, one of the most significant programs as we host a majority of our visitors through the IVLP who interact with hundreds throughout Northeast Ohio annually. 2020 marked the 80th anniversary of this IVLP exchange, a program that is widely seen as the premier exchange program for foreign professionals. We keep this notable anniversary in mind as we reflect on the value of exchanges during a period where international travel is on hold for health and safety concerns. As a result, our numbers this fiscal year are abbreviated as international groups were postponed starting in mid-March. Regardless, I am proud to say we hosted 249 international visitors across 26 individual IVLP projects, from Argentina to Zimbabwe, visitors came from countries all over the globe, 86 to be exact. These professional exchanges covered many pertinent topics, including cancer care and public health education, small market newspapers in the digital age, U.S. trade policy, and U.S. election processes for European leaders. Other IVLP exchanges highlighted the vibrant arts and culture in Cleveland, including independent theater management for Egypt and women's empowerment through sports journalism. Thank you to all the citizen diplomats and 200 plus local professional resources who engaged in global conversations through these IVLP exchanges and many others. I believe facilitating international connections will be more important than ever in the coming year. Looking ahead, it will be important for CCWA to maintain strong partnerships with our counterparts in DC and the State Department to help design future exchange programs so that we are ready to host visitors safely when the time comes. Thank you all for your support.
The Maura O'Donnell McCarthy Center for Global Understanding, established in 2019, is now actively rolling out programs and has had a small track record of early successes. The center hosts 2 education initiatives, both of which serve to cultivate a region of globally minded citizens and to promote greater global understanding. Bridges to the World is a series of professional development workshops to train and support middle and high school educators in teaching globally oriented concepts and current events in their classrooms. This year, we delivered workshops on the Middle East, US-Russia relations, and climate change. In addition, we delivered ad hoc teacher workshops on other topics, including immigration and global migration, global food scarcity, and climate change viewed through the lens of STEM. We plan to continue to facilitate these one-off workshops in addition to the Bridges to the World series. In total, this year we worked with 66 teachers from 21 schools across Northeast Ohio. We've received wonderful feedback on the program, and as such, we are planning a series of Bridges to the World for the 2020-21 academic year. Due to COVID, we are actively refocusing the topics to focus on global challenges such as global health. And we are actively exploring ways to pivot the workshop series and engage educators in virtual trainings. Through educating teachers, CCWA is able to further reach students. This is a way for our programs to reach students beyond the student population engaged in our Model UN programs.
This year for our student programming, our largest student program is the Model United Nations program, and we were able to hold 4 of the regularly scheduled 6 conferences because of the COVID-19 pandemic. But through those 4 conferences, we did reach out and have 53 schools that participated, 1,542 students. And outside of those conferences, I did host 21 different workshops at schools, and those workshops are able to help teachers and students learn the skills that they bring to our Model UN conferences, such as debating or writing position papers or anything that that teacher might need to really feel prepared to bring their students. We did hear back from some of our participants over the course of the year, in particular, a lot of our graduating seniors that gave us feedback about the program and told us how the Model UN program itself really helped shape their future and the choices that they want to make in college and what perhaps that they want to major in. And on top of that, it taught them things like debate skills, writing skills, and even allowed them to meet new friends from across Northeast Ohio. Even though 2 of our conferences were canceled, we did allow students to submit position papers online, and those position papers received awards for different work throughout the committees. We have other student programming, including the Junior World Affairs Council's program, and that program is a less competitive, a little less time-intensive program that allows students and teachers to explore topics of international importance as they're given background guides from CCWA that go over things like United Nations peacekeeping forces, Haiti and the uses of foreign aid, and all kinds of different topics. We even listen to school feedback to make sure that we're doing things that are going to be helpful for both the teachers and the students in classroom settings. And then our last student program is the Academic World Quest program. And that's actually a trivia tournament that comes from the World Affairs Councils of America, We held our local tournament back in January, and we saw almost 2.5 times the number of attendance that we had previously seen, as we had a total of 67 students that competed, and it was a team from Hathaway Brown that took away that first place prize.
This year, we also expanded the Global Competency Training Program within the Maura O'Donnell McCarthy Center for Global Understanding. The goal of the training is to help our participants learn how to communicate more effectively with people from different cultures. The content of the program is designed to be modular so that we're able to tailor our programming to best meet the needs of different audiences. For example, we have designed a training module on the underlying and universal dimensions of culture, including notions of time, sense of hierarchy, and approaches to formality. CCWA's academic audience has been particularly receptive of this programming. There has been great interest in the program from high schools, focused on developing students' global competence, and from universities, interested in preparing students for international work. This past year, we have delivered global competency trainings to teachers at St. Joseph Academy and to students in the John Carroll University Boler College of Business. Furthermore, we hosted 2 workshop series to make the training open to the public. This year, we hosted 7 global competency trainings in total, working with 89 individuals. In the upcoming year, we plan to explore ways to further strategically incorporate global competency training into other areas of CCWA's work, including the international exchange programs.
We still have a few weeks left in this fiscal year, but we have already reached 98% towards our revenue goal in philanthropic support, even despite the ongoing pandemic. In addition to these generally good news, I wanted to highlight 2 very special initiatives in the area of development that we took on in the last year. First of all, we launched our 1923 Society, which is CCWA's legacy giving program. This society honors and recognizes those individuals who have included CCWA in their legacy plans. We are profoundly grateful for the founding members of this society who care about CCWA so deeply that they have wanted to make sure that their contributions to international understanding will continue to have an impact for years to come. I welcome all of you to consider becoming a member of the 1923 Society, and you can learn more about it on CCWA's website under support and planned giving, or you can reach out to me anytime. The other development initiative from last year is that we did a soft launch of our centennial campaign. CCWA will be celebrating our centennial in 2023 in just a few short years. And this year we received our first 2 donations towards our centennial campaign. Raj and Karen Agarwal made a generous gift that establishes the Raj and Karen Agarwal Annual Forum, and the Hershey Foundation made a very generous endowment gift to support the programs of the Maura O'Donnell McCarthy Center for Global Understanding as part of the Centennial Campaign.
From all of us at the Cleveland Council on World Affairs, thank you for being a globally minded citizen. We hope you enjoyed the highlights from our 2019-2020 annual report. And most importantly, we hope you will continue to join us in our mission to promote global education and greater international understanding.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed hearing from our team, and I'd like to give a big thank you to our team for putting together such a terrific overview of their work in the past year. Last year, the board of the Cleveland Council on World Affairs elected Carter Strang to be the new chairman of the board. He will assume the position on July 1st. We will be providing more information about him in the next few days, But let me say for now that he is a senior partner in the law firm Tucker Ellis and has served as president of the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association. He has been a valued member of CCWA's Education Committee and has been an enthusiastic supporter of CCWA's programming. But today, we wanted to salute our outgoing chair, Dr. Wael Khoury, who many of you know for his outstanding leadership of the council. Actually, he served twice as chair, from 2012 to 2015, and then again from 2016 until now. Wael has been a member of CCWA since 1995, and for nearly as many years he's been on the board. I've known him since 2011 when I joined the staff of CCWA. From the day I met him, I realized that nobody loves CCWA more than Wael Khoury. The time we have limits this tribute, but let me say a few words. As chair, Wael has provided wise guidance through happy times and through the sad times following the sudden deaths of former board chair Michael Meisner and our CEO, Maura O'Donnell McCarthy. Wael has given his heart, his energy, his time, and his intellect to making CCWA the premier organization in Cleveland, bringing understanding and appreciation of foreign affairs to citizens of all ages. In fact, Wael was recognized for this commitment in 2017 when he was inducted into the Cleveland International Hall of Fame. During his time as chair, CCWA has welcomed Ambassadors William Burns, Ryan Crocker, Thomas Pickering, and many other outstanding speakers. And Wael has been personally involved in bringing us some particularly big name speakers. I'll never forget when at the last minute a few years ago, he managed to get James Zogby, a renowned expert on the Arab American community in the Middle East, to come and do our season opener. It has been rare not to see Wael at our events. In fact, he has come back from vacations early just to be at an event. It has always been very reassuring for us to know that he was with us and that he was there warmly greeting our guests and our speakers. During Wael's first term as chairman, CCWA launched its major fundraising event, the Global Impact Award, which brought such leading world experts on world affairs as George Mitchell, Richard Haas, Condoleezza Rice, among others. Wael's great desire to reach more students was palpable. At his urging, our Model UN program nearly doubled from 1,070 students to about almost 2,000 students this past year. And Wael was perhaps the most persistent force behind what is now called the Maura O'Donnell McCarthy Center for Global Understanding, the work of which you just heard about from Elizabeth Cowart. To give you a little background on this, Wael was always extremely supportive of what we refer to as the three legs of the stool of CCWA. That is exchanges, speakers, and Model UN. But he was always eager to do more. He wanted CCWA to be a leader in Cleveland, helping our citizens understand world cultures. Wael persevered in ensuring that at the heart of CCWA, there would be, and Wael is a cardiologist, that there would be, just as a heart has 4 chambers, that there would be a 4th chamber, and that is the Center for International Understanding. There is so much more to say about Wael's tenure as chair of the board. He has strengthened and expanded all of our programs, as well as revenue growth. But we have limited time, and so I hope for now you will join me in giving Wael a vigorous virtual round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather, for your generous introduction. Very appreciated. It's been a great experience working with you and your leadership of the council. Thank you all, friends and supporters supporters of CCWA for joining us on our annual event. I wish it was a regular meeting, but we have to be vigilant during this pandemic. I want to say a few words on why CCWA is more relevant in our time than ever before. An organization that operates in local and international arenas, started almost 100 years ago by a group of women advocating for world peace. 100 years later, billions of people are still very eager to live in peace. Talking about international arena now is talking about globalization. We've witnessed in the last few decades the evolution to globalization, changing the world to a one big village, technologically connected, economically interdependent, and visibly exposed through social media. Unfortunately, however, we are lagging in intercultural understanding, genuine international collaboration, better democratic governance, and deeper universal human rights adherence. A gap was forming due to this dichotomy in globalization, and we are witnessing its consequences: income disparity, social upheavals, and climate change. The entire world, big countries and small, is witnessing similar challenges: social injustice, pandemics, refugee crisis, wars, corruption, extremism, racism, and on and on. These global issues cannot be addressed in isolation. They beg for global collaboration and coordination. Global crises that need global solutions. And that's why global issues are exactly local issues now. And that's exactly why CCWA will be even more relevant than ever in addressing these global challenges and expanding global education. States, especially the superpowers, need to work collectively rather than keep spiraling into perpetual confrontation. We need to save our historic advancement and protect humanity into the future millennia. A current example of interconnectivity now is the protests against racism in the US that's being echoed in every corner of the world. With a lightning speed, we all look forward to a world free from racial injustice. As tragic as it is, the COVID pandemic has shown acutely how the world order is so interconnected, yet so fragile. No one could be isolated or protected by any national boundaries anymore. The sickness has been global, and the recovery will not happen unless it is global. Global climate change will undoubtedly create global crises that need global solution. Again, that's why global issues are exactly local issues now. And that's exactly why CCWA will be even more relevant than ever in addressing these global challenges. These are the educational programs that CCWA have focused on for decades. Students debating international hot topics at Model UN, renowned expert speakers addressing international policies and challenges, hosting hundreds of international professionals to show them the best of professionalism in Cleveland through citizens diplomacy, and most recently through the Maura O'Donnell McCarthy Center for Global Understanding for Cleveland institutions. Cleveland is enriched by its international communities, strengthened by its world-renowned cultural and medical institutions, showcasing the world's heritage in its cultural gardens, and supported by committed civic organizations like the Cleveland Foundation. CCWA is part of that unique texture of Cleveland, and I hope it will stay on the path of carrying this banner into the future. CCWA team has worked very hard over the past few years to place the Council on its high grounds of activities. Every program has increased significantly in its reach and scope. A multitude of thanks and appreciation go to everyone who touched this organization. The board of directors showed the most dedication and commitment to advancing the vision and mission of the council. Great work shouldered by the officers and committee chairs in all areas. Every member contributed in their own capacity and showed a pride in the organization. A special thanks goes to my dear friend, Mr. Dick Pogue, who led the massive efforts to making the Global Impact Award such an outstanding success. 7 consequent events brought national political leaders to Cleveland, and every awardee was enchanted by the work of the council. CCWA President and Ambassador in Residence, Heather Hodges, has been a great leader in her efforts to bring in the best of experts and scholars in international issues. Her national connections led to having outstanding speakers programs year after year. And best of all, she is from here in Cleveland. Thank you, Heather, for your services, for your leadership. CCWA new CEO, Karina Van Vliet, has brought tremendous energy to the council. A peace activist with great international background and experience, landed in Cleveland, and CCWA was the fortunate recipient. A focused visionary, meticulous organizer, and a brilliant strategist. Thank you, Karina, for your leadership. And thank you, Grant, for bringing Karina to Cleveland. Grant is Karina's husband, a great man. CCWA staff, the best I have witnessed in all the years being on the board. Very dedicated and caring group. Their hard work allowed the council to reach these high grounds. Thank you, Yenny. Thank you, Daniela. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Elizabeth. And thank you, Doug and Andrea. A big thank you to our CCFR members, our citizen diplomats, our volunteers, and our members for their unwavering support of the council. A special thanks to my wife, Susan, who is a big fan of the council. She gave me the greatest support she can, hosting international guests and attending speakers' events. She enjoyed the friendship of many of you here. We remember our dear friends and leaders of the organization who sadly and untimely passed away. Mike Meisner, who chaired the board briefly, and Maura O'Donnell McCarthy, who led CCWA as an outstanding CEO and placed the organization on its current high trajectory. CCWA looks forward with great excitement to the new chair of the board, Mr. Carter Strang, a dedicated civic leader who had great experience in leading several organizations with vision and success. He will bring a wealth of knowledge and expertise in leading CCWA into the future and into its centennial landmark in 2023. My friends of the council, it was my absolute honor and pleasure to have chaired the board of this great organization for the years I did. Home is everything in our culture. CCWA became our international home in Cleveland. We will cherish every memory and every friendship we've made along the way. Best to all, and please stay safe, you and your family. And thank you for joining us today.
I also welcome everybody to today's annual meeting. I echo Heather's praise of Wael's leadership. We've been blessed, really blessed, to have him at the helm, steering us through what at times have been troubled waters. I've worked with many leaders. Those that stand heads and shoulders above the pack have an innate ability to lead by making the right call, at the right time, in the right way. Wael has that quality, which he repeatedly demonstrated. As a result, despite the worst pandemic our nation has experienced in over 100 years, the CCWA is remarkably strong and well-positioned to continue its mission. I know I have some big shoes to fill. However, I also know Wael isn't going anywhere, and I'll make sure to make use of his many talents. I am honored, truly honored, to be selected to be the new board chair. I could not be more excited about this great leadership opportunity. The CCWA has a storied past. As Wael mentioned, it stretches back to its founding in 1923 by a group of very forward-looking women interested in promoting world peace. And we have an incredibly bright future during which we'll continue to fulfill our mission to inspire engagement in international affairs and world cultures through education, public dialogue, and citizen diplomacy. That, my friends, is something our nation and our world needs now more than ever. As Albert Einstein said, in the midst of every crisis lies an opportunity. We face the unprecedented challenge posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. We'll continue to address that challenge in our program and our finances. For CCWA, this has and will continue to mean switching to virtual programming for the time being. Virtual programming presents an opportunity, however, to expand our audience to those who may be attracted by the ease of participating remotely. Now, speaking of opportunities, we have a big one coming up. As has been mentioned, the CCWA's centennial celebration, which will be the last year of my term, will be arriving in 2023. Now, approaching personal milestones like birthdays and anniversaries are a time to stop and reflect. So too for organizations. It's an opportunity for us to focus on our vision of what we would like CCWA to be in 2023. One vision we all share is of a CCWA that includes a cadre of young CCWA members and leaders. Now, to help make that vision a reality, we are launching an initiative to create CCWA clubs at local colleges and universities. The clubs will be organized and run by students and faculty members who will be CCWA academic members and participants in our many programs and events. The CCWA will also serve as a valuable resource to the clubs for their on-campus programs. Leading the charge in this effort is our new CCWA Vice Chair, Dr. Linda Robertson, Director of the Gerald H. Reed Center of International and Intercultural Education at Kent State University. Thanks, Linda, for undertaking this effort. We have a truly wonderful all-star board, and I'm looking forward to working closely with every board member over the next 3 years. We're also blessed to have a truly outstanding CEO in Karina. When she was hired, Wael said, "We are excited about the energy, experience, and vision she brings to CCWA." His words were prophetic. All of those attributes and more have made her one of the most effective CEOs in Cleveland. I also look forward to working closely with Heather, who brings to CCWA a wealth of experience, leadership, and contacts in the foreign policy field. Finally, we have an innovative, hardworking staff, all of whom I've had the pleasure of coming to know, and with whom I look forward to working with over the next 3 years. Again, thank you for attending today's annual meeting.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone can hear me and see me and that we're done with all the technical issues. I am delighted to be here and to conclude our annual meeting. Again, just to echo everything that's been said, we hope this is the last time we have to do this on a Zoom call. We very much hope that next time we're able to gather in person and warmly thank and congratulate Dr. Wael Khoury for all of his tremendous service and leadership to CCWA. And as we could all tell from his remarks, how much he cares about our organization and about our mission. I realize I am the last person standing between you and a lovely Thursday evening in June, which we all want to go out and enjoy. But we wanted to make sure that we had the space to open up for questions. So everyone's been using the chat box. So if anyone has a question for us, please feel free. I'm looking through the chat box here, and obviously some wonderful messages. While you have a number of friends who've expressed their congratulations, I'm reading off some names. Michelle Popik, Lashaka Askew, Ali Sultan Shahi, Andrea Villalone, Khalil Kahor, Michelle Farah, Carla Tricarici, Basel Abdallah, Michael Sulkin, Lori Ashik. And I know a lot of our CCWA board is on this meeting. Grateful to all of you for your leadership along with Dr. Khoury's. I think just to sum up the sentiments in the chat box, let me read a message from David Fleschler, who is one of our vice chairs. David says, Mazel tov, Wael. It is an honor and pleasure to work with you. And although you will step down as the chair today, you will continue to be one of the most cherished and hardworking, that's very true, internationalists in Cleveland. Thank you for everything you have done for and beyond CCWA. So David, thanks for putting that in there. I think that sums it up. More congratulations and appreciations. Appreciate all that. If anyone has questions, we're happy to entertain them. I would simply say in concluding, a lot of thank yous have happened today, but I feel that I should add mine. First of all, I want to thank all of you who are on this webinar. It means so much to us that you share our belief in the importance of our mission. I think Wael has spoken very why, particularly at this moment of global pandemic and global questioning of our entire systems, we feel that our mission is more critical than ever. On behalf of all of my colleagues, we are very much recommitted to our mission and to making sure that we provide quality international education and exchange programming to the community. This is very important to us. So thank you to our members. Thank you to our audience. A huge thank you to the board of directors of CCWA, without whom none of this would happen. Thank you to Heather Hodges, Ambassador Hodges, for all of your leadership. And on behalf of all of my colleagues, Dr. Khoury, thank you so much for having been an amazing board chair. We are extremely grateful to you and will ever be. And to Mr. Carter Strang, we are very excited about your upcoming tenure and very much look forward to working with you as well. And so I guess my final words, I'm looking at the chat box. Outstanding leadership all around, lots of congratulations. This is all good. Thank you so much, everyone. And so my final words this afternoon to everyone would be to thank my colleagues. Wael graciously named them all. Andrea Bender, Yenny Carney, Daniela Milan, Elizabeth Court, Andrew Kovach, Katie Furman, Doug Furman, Pam Weatherhill. Thank you so much for everything that you do every day. This is a team effort, and we are all so deeply committed to our mission of inspiring engagement in international affairs throughout the Cleveland community and all of the different program areas that you've heard about today. So with that, I'm giving one last look at our chat box. I'm not sure I see questions. I see a lot of congratulations. So Wael, I hope you're able to read through the chat box and see all the comments. Carter, Heather, everyone as well. And so with that, I want to thank everyone one more time and wish you a very lovely summer. We look forward to reconvening in September when we start our program season, and we'll welcome you with open arms at that point. So have a lovely summer. Thanks everyone for attending, and we look forward to seeing you as soon as possible.